Hi Flosstube, happy Monday and happy March 1st. Here in Michigan, it's a gorgeous sunny day today. My name is Melanie and you have reached my cross stitch channel, Melly Ellie Stitches. And I like to also talk here about some other crafts like sewing machines in particular. So grab a drink, sit back, let's chat, let's catch up. For my returning stitchy friends, thanks for checking in with me. And if you're new here, welcome. I would love to get to know you. Leave me a comment down below. Can never have enough stitchy friends in this world, right? You can never have enough coffee. You can never have enough vacation. You can never have enough stitchy friends. I think these are the things. So I am drinking peach tea again today, but this is a green peach tea. Same company, Bigelow. Their peach is just phenomenal. But how much do you think my nieces loved that Pusheen mug? My nieces came this past weekend, which I'll talk a little bit about, and I ended up getting them each a Pusheen mug because he's just so cute. He's so cute. So let's start with that. So this past weekend, I'm such a lucky auntie. My two nieces, Grace and Amelia, came to spend the night with me, and we ended up crafting almost the whole time. It was so much fun. Amelia was working on her llama diamond dots, and she's so good with technology too. She set up my phone to do a time lapse of her diamond dot painting, so I will insert that here. How fun is that, right? I thought that was just the coolest. So she was working away on the diamond dots. And then both the girls, Grace and Amelia, I told them when they came over, our endeavor this weekend was for them to learn how to use the sewing machine. And they did. It's amazing how fast kids can pick things up. I mean, I was there and I threaded the machine and I showed them how to do that. And then immediately Grace knew how to do that. And then they were so great about cutting out the fabric. They did every step of the process. We cut the fabric out, and then we cut the interfacing, and then they did all the interfacing. They pressed the material, they set everything up, we figured out their margins, and then they did the sewing using the sewing machine, and it was so much fun. And then they stuffed them, and we closed them, and we came out with two really adorable Easter spring pillows, which I'll insert a picture of here. So that was just so much fun. They really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it just as much. So we had a really good time. And then Grace had also brought she's just going crazy on cross stitch. And she finished her March cross stitch, her March Lizzie Kate cross stitch, the one I showed last time. So she finished it up and we turned it into a pillow just like my berries finished. So I will insert a picture of that here. Isn't that just the sweetest? And she is already done with April. She sent me a text today saying, I am done with April. So the girl is flying. I will insert a picture of April by Lizzie Kate. And these are the Lizzie Kate Flip It Month with a Charm. So each comes with a little charm, which is fun too. But I'll insert a picture of that here. So what a weekend. I'm such a lucky person in life to have such a great family around me. You know, as a family, we've known our share of sadness. We've known our share of hard times as a family. But through all of it, it's made us so incredibly close. And it's the silver lining in life for me. We're all so close and I just adore them all. And so, yeah, we had a lot of fun. So today I do not have any finishes to show, but I do have two new starts in my progress on those and progress on two other whips I would like to show you, along with some major haul, big haul, and my plans for March. So I have filled out my happy planner for March and what I'm going to be focusing on this next month. And so I will go through that with you and then some other happy thoughts. So let's get into the stitching. First of all, let's start with my current whips. So this first pattern that I'm going to show you, this is Etude, and this is by Lena's Cross Stitch Designs on Etsy. It's a digital pattern that you can download, and I will insert a picture of it here. So if you remember from my last Flosstube, I had started this piece on 2 different kinds of fabric. My original vision was like a gray fabric. I chose to do the pattern in just 2 different colors alternating that look like snowflakes. And so I wanted to do it on gray fabric. That was like the initial vision that I had for this piece. But then I had ordered some vintage gray from R&R, and it just, you know, the varying dye lots and how things, you know, look online versus in person. It'll be so nice when we can go to cross-stitch stores in person again around here. But anyway, so I got the vintage gray fabric and it was just way too light. So the white, the snowflake white was not showing up. So then I jumped into my stash and I had tried it out on a taupe fabric that I had, and it looked nice. It really did. You know, a lot of you said, hey, the taupe looks nice, don't sweat it. You know, it looks really good from here. But something was just still nagging at me about the gray. And so then I had told you, maybe I'll RIT dye it. Well, then I went back on Amazon, and the RIT dye that they had that was actually in stock, it was like a pearl gray. And it's the same kind of deal I had with the other fabric. I have a pearl gray and the white just wasn't going to show up. So I put out a call to you guys in my last Flosstube and you all answered so generously. I got a lot of good suggestions, and I did look up several of them, and what it came down to was availability of the fabric, obviously, and then this one fabric just stuck. My friend Nicole from Buckeye Stitcher sent me an IM and said, hey, check out dark cobblestone. And she said, and you may want to just do cobblestone because dark might be too dark and drowned out your blue. It was perfect, Nicole. And so I will show you where I stand on this piece now, and I am finally happy with my fabric choice. So this is Etude on the dark cobblestone. Let's see. There you go. And so it just looks exactly how I envisioned it now. The 2 colors that I'm using, the dark blue is Mermaid's Tail by Classic Colorworks. It's just this really beautiful navy blue that I love so much. It looks so pretty. And then the white is Snowflake by Classic Colorworks. And I just love the 2 of them together on this fabric. I just think it looks perfect. So I'm super excited about this. I think I had counted there's like 80 squares, 80 total squares to do. And so I'm just gonna work on this piece a little at a time. It'll be a bigger piece when it's done. But I am just so happy that I found the right fabric, because now it looks like the vision in my mind, right? And you know when you get stuck on something and you're like, yeah. So Etude is coming along and I'm super happy about it. Next one I will talk about is the Modern Folk Embroidery Sale. And this is the one I've been talking about each Flosstube. This is hosted by Modern Folk Embroidery, and it's not a mystery sale. They release 1 part each month. This was January here, this bird. This heart was February, and then today is the release of this flower pot. Yeah, it's so pretty, the little flower pot. So I've been plugging along. I did get started a little late in January, so I was behind everyone on this, but I've been stitching like crazy. I'm not fully caught up yet, but March is a very long month. A lot longer than February, so I'm hoping I can get caught up. So I chose to stitch mine on Light Sand Belfast, and I just love the color. This is a 32 count, and here is my progress. So you can see I finished up January, and I've gotten a good bit way through February. You know, there's some more to fill out over here, obviously filling in on the side, and then there's some birds at the bottom there. But the colors that I chose to use are the brown, which is 3031, which is like a dark chocolate mocha. And then 3064 is that pink sand color. And I just love it so much. I just love it so much. It is an incredible amount of stitching, I will say. I mean, it is a lot. I think, you know, when I made my plans this time for the month, I gave this one a little more time in the plans because this is going to be one that I'm going to need a good, I think, you know, maybe 4 or 5 days of stitching to at least get through the majority of each month's release. So for this month, I should say, now it's March 1st. So for March 1st, I planned one less whip to work on than I normally was because I would like to do a little bit more on this one. So let's talk about my new starts. I had 2 new starts, and I will go through my happy planner in a little bit. They were planned new starts. I had talked about them before. One was Aurora Cabin by Dimensions, and the other was a Pink Sparrow sampler by Brenda Gervais. So let's do Aurora Cabin first. So ladies, I have started building our cabin. Start packing your bags, get all your stitchiness ready. This is a piece by Dimensions. It is so beautiful. I love it. It is so realistic. And it's a doable piece, right? It's not as huge as a Hade. I think it's something that if I plug along, I can get done. And I love it so much. So, I started this one out. I pressed my fabric. I got all my threads ready. And I got a start on it. But I have to say right away, I was like doubting myself because the corner that I started in this top corner here, which is like just this night sky. This called on the pattern for 6 strands of the kit floss half stitch. And it was, so the kit fabric is this, so let me just show you. So the kit fabric is this 16 count gray Aida. And 6 strands of floss was so thick going through this fabric. I was getting like major knots. Yeah, so it was a rough go at the start. So I had 2 doubts. Number 1 was using the 6 strands because it was just so thick trying to pull it through. And number 2 was, do I really want to do a half stitch? Is half stitch really going to cover it? Because if you look in this picture, it's so dark. Like it's, you know, you don't see any fabric poking through here. So I thought, well, maybe I should change it to full crosses. And I was like, no, just trust the pattern. Just do what the pattern says. You'll run out of floss if you try to go full cross. So I did, and I just plugged along, and it looks good. But I did change it. I have to say, I took out 1 thread. So I kept the half stitches. I trusted what they said about the half stitches, but I did take 1 strand out because 5 strands was a little more doable. It wasn't like yanking this fabric through the hole. I just felt like every time I pulled it through, I was gonna rip the fabric. So I have decided to do this sky portion in 5 strands, and I think it looks fine. I don't see like tons of, you know, seeing the gray fabric through it. It does look dramatic, like I thought it would, and the half stitches are working out. So this is my small little corner of the pattern. Obviously, right, this is gonna be a big piece. This is the full size of the fabric, and I'm just gonna chip away at it a little at a time. I am really enjoying it. I have to say, wow, half stitches, they go so much faster than the full cross. I haven't done half stitches in a long time. But yeah, you really make the progress. And then I'd like to talk to you about this needle minder. I'm gonna show a little bit more on this later, but I ordered this on Etsy. I was watching Handwork Maniacs channel, and she was talking about her, Brenda, and she was talking about her daughter-in-law who has an Etsy shop, and she makes needle minders. And so I went and checked it out. These are hand painted. So look at this little fishy. Let me see if I can get it without the glare. Maybe right there. Isn't that so cute? And it's like the size of a domino. It's really, really sweet. So I bought 2 of them. I bought this fish, and then I bought a sheep, which I'll show you in a little bit. And she threw in an extra needle minder. So let me show you that one right now. So here is her shop. It is Sunshine Mama's Designs. And she threw in that little kitty needle minder as a bonus, which I thought was so sweet. And isn't he cute? They're hand painted. They're so adorable. Yeah, so I love supporting, you know, individual shops who are crafters and lovers of the needlework craft. So I thought that was so sweet. So I've been enjoying those a lot. They're great magnets. They work really, really well. So that is Aurora Cabin, and I plan on, I'll go through my March, which ones I'm going to do for March with you, but you know, this is just going to take me a while throughout the year. I will bring it out here and there and continue on with it. So that's Aurora Cabin. Okay, and my last new start, which was also in my plans, you know, remember my 35 squares, I'm going to go through that. Both of these were in my plans. The pattern for a pink sparrow sampler showed up. And this is by Brenda Gervais, an antique reproduction, and it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful, and I posted this on my Instagram. So here is the picture of the piece. Isn't that stunning? I don't want to get too close, the light will blow it out, but that sparrow on the top, so I have a bird feeder and I get all kinds of birds. I get the blue jays and the cardinals and the mourning doves, but my favorite are the sparrows because when they chirp, they're just so sweet and happy, and they're just the smallest, sweetest little creatures. You know, they're not flashy, they're not bright in feathers, but they're just so sweet and they're always clumped together. I just love sparrows. So when I saw this pink sparrow, I was like, yes, must have. And I'm gonna hang this on the wall next to the window where my bird feeder is, which I think will be so sweet. So, and I shared this on my Instagram. It's so cool. So when you get this pattern, she actually shares a picture of the reproduction that she has, and it's in its original frame, which is just incredible. And then she talks a little bit about how like 2 of the corners look like they had been eaten by a hungry little moth. So she had some difficulty in charting that. And then she did some modifications to the colors, you know, based on what she thought a girl of this time would do. And it's so beautiful. And what's so cool is, she says at the end, it says, I hope you will find great pleasure in working this sampler, the work of someone's small hands stitched so many years ago. And I just think that is so neat. We don't even know who stitched this. But she says it dates like to the early 19th century based on the materials. But how amazing is that? That some little girl in the early 19th century stitched this, and it probably hung on the wall, maybe in her bedroom. And who knew all of this time later we would be enjoying this work and we would be reproducing her creation. I mean, that is just incredible. And it's fascinating to me. Like, I just wish so much we knew who, you know. That's one of the fun things is you see the girls' names on these, but it's also very, very sweet that it's anonymous. And yeah, her needlework lived on so many years beyond her. So cool. So as you can tell, I'm just obsessed with this pattern. So I am doing mine on the called for fabric. And their called for fabric was Weeks Dye Works Parchment Linen, 32 count. And I will say, I love the color of Weeks Dye Works linen. It's just like a little bit softer than I like. Like the Zweigart linen, it just has a little more, I guess I'm a person, I like a little more texture, like a little more structure to my fabric. And it's probably because I like to, I pull mine tight in a Q-snap. I like it like tight as a drum. So I struggled a little at first because I felt like because the linen was so soft when I was pulling through with my normal tension and speed, like I was pulling a little too hard and then, you know, making the holes expand too much. So I had to back off on the tension a little, but I worked with it a little and I do like it. It is a beautiful linen, very pretty color. So here is where I am at on a pink sparrow sampler. Isn't that so pretty? Oh my gosh, those colors. I showed you the color palette of this last time with all those beautiful threads. Oh my gosh, just so gorgeous. So many beautiful colors in this, and this parchment is really pretty. Let me see if I can get the true color of the, so right there is the true color of the fabric. You can see, let me take this off behind it. You can see it's like a goldeny color, which is just absolutely gorgeous, especially with those really soft pastel colors. So I'm loving it. I had to count off. I actually put in this just to help me get started. This is part of the border so I could count off and start doing in here. I am still waiting. I ordered a couple skeins of Piney Woods, which is the border that goes around here. It was sold out everywhere, but I found it on Etsy and I ordered it. So I'm just waiting for that to come in, and then I'll start filling in the border too. But it is a beautiful, right there, that is a beautiful color fabric. And I'm just obsessed with this one. This one will stay in my rotation. So in my March plans, I will be still working on the Pink Sparrow sampler from our beloved little unknown little girl. Don't you just love the history behind it too? Like, the history behind this craft is just so incredible. It's just been done for hundreds and hundreds of years in different cultures and all around the world. It's fascinating. I'm very fascinated. Okay, let's talk about big haul. Big haul. Big haul. So, as you guys know, I've been using a hand-me-down sewing machine, which is great. It's been really good for me to learn on it. It's a Singer tradition from many years ago, but it's just a very basic sewing machine, and it's been really, really good to learn on. I've really enjoyed the process. But I will say that I was watching Vonna, the Twisted Stitcher, and she has done, if you have not seen it yet, she has done a sewing series, like a sewing machine, learn to use your sewing machine series. And she's got several videos, and one of the videos, some of them are like how to thread your machine, but one of them was how to pick your machine. And so she started going through her craft room in her basement and showing the different types of machines and the function that they do, the different functions that they have, the different features that they have, and which ones she likes. And oh boy, I got sucked right down that rabbit hole. She was going over her Janome Magnolia, and she just talked about how that machine runs the same way it did, 20 years ago, and it's just her favorite of all her machines. And then she started showing some of the features, and although that one is not still sold today, she gave the equivalent, which is the Janome 3160 QDC, and off I went. And then I was on YouTube looking at videos that describe, the features, and what really got me, like the difference between my very basic sewing machine and this Janome 3160 was the scissor function. Wow, the scissor function is going to be so handy. It snips that, you guys probably all have the very nice machines, but when you push the scissor button, it snips the bobbin thread and the needle thread. You don't have to do any of that. The auto lock back stitch, because I was trying to, sew a few stitches forward and then hit reverse and sew back, and the feed dogs on this older machine aren't what they used to be. So I would get bunchy fabric, and then I would, sometimes end up with a knot there. So the auto lock feature, and then the needle down feature, which is, you press the button and you can select for whenever the machine stops to either stop in the needle up or the needle down position. That's huge for turning corners, because I was trying to, time it right with the foot pedal and then having to, use the wheel to push it back down into the fabric. Speed control, huge, because, when you're going along, it's hard to control the exact speed you went with your foot. So this allows you to, there's a slide adjustment on the front, and you can select the speed, and then it overrides the foot pedal, so you could have that press to the floor, but it'll only do, the 400 stitches a minute on the slow function if that's what you choose. 60 different stitches. It had the extension table. It had the automatic needle threader, which this other machine didn't have, and it was not a big deal, but I would have to thread it with my eye. And I just have convinced myself I want to make bags. I want to make all the bags. I've started buying fabric. I saw Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Several people have mentioned it. She's a great Flosstuber. If you haven't visited her, go check her out. I was watching her tutorial about how to make bags, and oh my gosh, I went and bought the exact fabric from the Fat Quarter Shop. And I bought the zippers. I had IM'd her, and she was so gracious to, you know, spend a few minutes and send me the information on exactly what zippers she uses. And so I'm gonna make all the project bags. And I've already informed my family that I'm making them project bags too, because my youngest sister, Megan, likes Happy Planners, so she's gonna have bags for her stickers. And my little nieces are gonna have bags for their crafts. And I told my mom, find something you need to put in a bag. I don't know, spoons, forks, knives. You're gonna have bags to put them in. Yeah, so I plan on making my entire family all the bags, and then myself all the bags. I mean, I have 35 whips. What am I supposed to do with those? They need bags, right? So I am super excited. So I have just been absorbing this tutorial, and I was stalking the poor Amazon man yesterday. You know, Amazon is so fast. We're so used to so fast in this world. So I ordered it, and it was supposed to be here on Saturday, and so I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And then I got the notification saying, you know, the package has been delayed, and I was like, okay, you know, that's fine. So then I got a notification yesterday morning that it would arrive by 10 o'clock. And so all day long, I'm like checking my phone. And at like 7 o'clock, I clicked on it, and then it actually shows, you know, your driver is 5 stops away. And so I'm like looking down the street. This poor guy, he shows up in front of my house. I'm like, yes! So I opened it all up, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's definitely a sewing machine I will use for the next 25, 30 years to come. I really trust Vonna's advice, and when she said it's a sturdy machine and she, you know, how great it runs, it made me very excited. So I will insert a picture of it here. I still have to give her a name. I haven't named her yet, but I do like, so the 3160 QDC has that teal faceplate, but this is the new 3160 QDC-T for tan, the newer model. So I have not turned it on. I have petted it and loved it and hugged it. And staring at it a lot with big hearts in my eyes, but I want to read. I'm an engineer. I want to read the manual. I want to read the manual before I turn it on and immediately break something. So I'm going to read the manual, and then you know, learn how to thread it and all of these things. And so yeah, that is going to be in my plans the next couple of evenings. So so excited. And then of course, in order to make the bags, I'm just gonna need a ton of fabric. And now I understand why you ladies love the fabric so much, because then you start scrolling and you start looking, and oh my gosh, the fabric. So let's talk about some of the fabric I bought. And then we will get into my plans for March cross stitch. So as you saw from my pictures, I found this adorable bunny fabric from Joann's, and we made the Easter pillows out of this for the front. And I have some left over, so I can use them for my bags, you know, all my first practice bags, because I'm probably going to need to make 30 before I have them turn out right. And then this was the back, this peach dot fabric, so cute, so cute. As I mentioned, I ordered the, it was called something like I Love You stamp fabric or something. The exact fabric Elizabeth Ann used in her tutorial. I ordered enough of that to make bags for my whole family. And that fabric is so cute. And then I saw this too, and I couldn't resist. Look at this Easter bunnies. Oh my gosh, are you dead? Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then I got this pink dot to be the top panel. That screams, Easter bunny is coming. Oh my God, I love it. Is that not so cute? And of course, I got enough to make bags for my whole family. Yeah, so they're gonna have all the bags. They're just set for life. We go on vacation, they can just pack all their undies in bags. We don't need luggage. And then I got one of these wool. This is like New Zealand wool. It's an ironing mat. Wow, was this thing nice when we made our pillows this weekend. You know, instead of using an ironing board, this is just the wool mat. But the wool heats and it like irons it from both sides. This was so much fun. And it smells like a sheep. I kid you not. We were like ironing and we're like, I smell sheep. So I can verify that this is a New Zealand sheep that made this, and I am so thankful to him or her for my ironing mat. So that is the haul, and it was a lot of haul. I don't make big purchases very often, you know, and so it made me a little like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna spend so much money on this. But just like when I bought my golf clubs, which were over $1,000, if you love something that much, and it's going to be an investment for like 20 years, you should just do it. Okay, let's talk March plans. So here is my happy planner you have all seen, and I am happy to report I am still within 35 squares. I have not gone beyond 35, and there's a couple of things in here I have in a designated slot that I haven't started yet, like this Cubs one, and this one right here, which I'm going to talk about, Bluebird Sampler. So, March, let's talk about March. So for March focus, here's what I have decided. First of all, too, I am so excited to watch you guys with the March Madness. I will definitely participate as much as I can. I'll be watching my Instagram. I know a lot of people are going to use their Instagram stories to do that. And I'm super excited. I think that's such a fun thing. So, yes, post all the March Madness. March focus for me. So what I have chosen is Gracie's Gift, which I will go through. My Modern Folk Embroidery sale, which we talked about. I gotta probably do like a week on that one to get good and caught up. The Pink Sparrow Sampler, made the cut again. Pray, now this is the one, and I'll just show my progress on this one before I've shown the pattern so many times. This is Pray by Teresa Kogut. And this is a piece I'm doing for my grandmother. And I am doing it on 32 count Heartland fabric. Isn't she so soft and beautiful? Oh, so I have like a couple more rows. There's like a quarter of a page left on this side that goes down, and then the bottom of that wing. So I'm gonna work on Pray. I really wanna continue to work on that and get it done for Grams. Cherish Friends, which, hold on a second, let me go grab that. I forgot to grab that. Okay, I'm back. So this is Cherish Friends by My Big Toe Design, and this is one of the ones in my 35 squares that is so close to a finish that I want each month to try and pick one of the older ones that are in the 35 squares and just bust them out, right? So here is the pattern. It's super sweet. I would love to get this to my friend. It's just, I think, like 3 total colors in this one, but I love it so much. And here's where I'm at. I stitched this on. This looks like 28 count French Cafe Mocha linen, but I can verify for that for you if you're interested. So I mean, look how close I am, right? This is not a very big piece. So this is going to be in the rotation in March to get this one done and off my WIP list. I mentioned Gracie's piece, so let's talk about that a little bit. My Gracie Rose is having her 12th birthday this coming week on March 10th, and we are excited for her. So I had picked out this piece. So Gracie, if you're watching, turn away. Sorry, I had to go calm Max, my watchdog, down. Okay, so this is by SV Stitch from Etsy, and it's called Balloon. How adorable is that little cute guy? I love it so much. So I ordered my flosses, and they came in, and I ordered some other goodies. So I have decided I'm going to do this on a 32 count Ocean Kiss, which is a fabric that I can't find anywhere anymore. I had this piece from my local needlework shop when I went there probably 2 years ago. They had some of this, and I grabbed it, and it's just so beautiful. It's like a gray blue. It's really pretty. And then let me put these DMCs, and for a small pattern, there's a lot of DMCs involved in this, but look how pretty these colors look. Ooh, let me try it. Doesn't that look so pretty with all the pinks and the soft creams. I think that's gonna look so pretty. And then I got these little petite glass beads for the eyes. And I got my very first set of beading needles. So I'm gonna give these a try. Let's see. That light blows it out so bad, right? Maybe you can see them there. They are Mary Arden of England, bead embroidery sharp point. So I'll be able to put the eyes on that adorable little guy. Okay, so I think that's my March plan. So we talked Gracie's gift, Modern Folk embroidery sale. So I'll have to insert a picture of this one here. So Leanne from Small Town Stitches, hi Leanne. She posted a floss tube this past week. If you have not checked out her channel, go check her out. She's an amazing stitcher and crocheter. She just finished a cowl that's so beautiful. And she's making more. She's got 2 gigantic balls of yarn to show you, so go check out her latest floss tube. But she said that her birthday is in March, and she's gonna be starting a new start on her birthday, and she asked us to join along. And I believe she said it's March 16th. Go check out her channel and double check me, but I think we're starting on March 16th. And so the one that I have been wanting to start for a long time is Bluebird Sampler by Heart and Hand. So I will insert a picture of that here. And so on my Happy Planner, I had 1 slot available, and I put in Bluebird Sampler. So I'm gonna start that with Leanne to celebrate her birthday on the 16th of March. And I have chosen, so I put in my order. I'll have to show you the pattern and everything next time. But I have chosen Presidential Blue by Classic Colorworks, which is really pretty. It reminds me of a bluebird, really pretty variegation. And I'm gonna do mine on 32 count antique white. Now the pattern calls for 32 count ren, but I just really want that white crisp look behind the blue. With like some white and blue crisp fabric on the bottom. I'm gonna finish it into a pillow. So I'm super excited to start that and celebrate Leanne's birthday. Let's see, what else do I have for you guys? I think that's everything. I think that is everything. I will close before I say goodbye to you with another one of my inspirational cards, the I Am Everything. So this one today, this is card number 3, I am whole. So let's see what it has to say. I am whole. I am perfectly created. I am a wonderfully unique individual. Every lesson I have learned, every risk I have taken, and every achievement I have made contributed to who I am. Because of that, I am whole. And that is, could anything be more true than that? Every up and down, like I was talking about, you know, with me and my family, every up and down, every heartache, every, you know, amazing achieving moment, it all makes us who we are. And I think if any of it changed, even some of, I think some, you look back and you wish some of the sad things could have changed, but had any one thing been different, something you have that you love in life today, or something or somewhere you've gone would be different. You know, it all plays out, the story plays out exactly how it should. You know, there's greater powers at work there. So remember that this next 2 weeks, remember to embrace your life and everything you've been through and done. It all led you to the amazing person you are today. And until I see you guys next time in 2 weeks, happy stitching. Enjoy the spring of spring. All of our snow is melted here in Michigan and I'm loving it. I'm ready. Bring on the spring. Until then, I'll talk to you guys next time.